Ladies and gentlemen, here's a new episode of Radio Rothingham. Sup, dudes? How are you?
I'm okay.
Okay, do we win a prize now?
Yes. Do I win a
No.
prize? You're asking me
Yeah,
about
you-
my feelings.
You
I should
get
win
to
the prize.
you get to be on the podcast.
Hey!
Hooray!
I haven't died yet, so there's that.
That's beneficial to your health to not be dead. So yeah, today we got with us Astra,
Hi.
and we have Panboy,
I might exist.
and we also took the German out of his cage. So we also have a Bakphoon.
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag, Herr Bakphoon. Bunch of topics we lined up today, and yeah, we're just gonna entertain you guys for 1.5 hours. Also, I took the sketch I did, and I'm going to draw it, and it's gonna be awesome. So yeah.
Neat.
So, who wants to break the ice, so to speak?
No
I
one.
don't have any ice.
Oh, that's too bad. So, I think Bakphoon was so kind as to share with us a terrible link to a terrible website that's known as NeoGAF. So let's talk about that first. So what's it all about, and why should we care?
Yeah, that's a very terrible thing. It's Zoe Quinn. She won the case against her ex-boyfriend.
Who?
Zoe Quinn. It's some
Um,
feminist, I think. That's how they are called, right? Zoe Quinn.
I never heard of her.
Yeah,
I mean, is he
But-
literally who?
yeah. But she won a case against a ex-boyfriend who started this thing called Gamergate. Sounds like some kind of energy drink.
Is that like Gatorade?
Yeah.
Oh. Is it blue? I hear the blue dyes are the best.
I think the
Make
blue
some
one is
beacons.
Powerade.
Oh. It's a
Is
shame.
it Gatorade? But it's what the plant craves.
Mhm.
Because it's got electrolytes.
It's got electrolytes. So yeah. So yeah. Yeah. Zoe Quinn. Most of the people that even have like the slightest clue of what Gamergate is all about, they because he was at the center of the conspiracy, and that kind of morphed into Gamergate, and people keep conflating the two. So yeah, that happened. So what does this ruling entail? What's the
Mm.
What's the case? What is the case that she won?
Apparently, her ex-boyfriend put up a restraining order against her, but that was rude. I would say, yeah, that was dropped basically because it was kind of pointless.
okay?
Most restraining orders are
Yeah,
pretty pointless. Because the kind of people who are actually afraid of coming into your own personal space and hurting you don't really obey angry words by the police. They're not those kind of people. Restraining orders are strange.
Yeah, but they do have legal consequences. So if there's no restraining order against you, and you do decide to get into someone's close proximity, then nothing happens because, well, it's a free country. But if you got
Right,
a restraining order against you, then it will have legal consequences. Like,
But the point I was trying to achieve with that statement is, Artrix, you only get restraining orders against people who you believe are going to do illegal things to you anyway. Is that not the truth? So the legal consequences of their illegal actions would still be legal consequences regardless of whether there's a restraining order or not. I mean, I would only get a restraining order against someone I thought was going to murder me. But then when they go and murder me, regardless of the restraining order, I don't think it's going to have helped very much.
No. You're dead.
no, but I don't think restraining orders are just against things like they're murderous people and shit. there's been plenty of cases where people get a restraining order just because they're a stalk or just nuisance, and they.
Yeah, it's some complicated things, so I don't really know exactly how to read it, but basically the restraining order was somehow about limiting her to post things about him or something, from what I understand, because he felt she violated the First Amendment or something.
I don't think.
I'm pretty sure saying things about people is pretty much what the First Amendment lets you do.
Exactly.
In the Americas.
Yeah,
Silly Americans.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even understand what free speech is.
But as you can see, even this case is just as confusing as the rest of Gamergate, because I really have no idea what it is.
Okay.
It's like I think I remember hearing something, but it might be just some really faint memory that was about ethics in game journalism.
I'll break it down for you now. It's pretty simple, actually. Okay, so that girl, that Zoe Quinn person, was accused by her boyfriend of being unfaithful with a bunch of journalists. Whether this is true or not, I don't know. Apparently it's not true, but according to anti-Gamergate folks and Zoe Quinn, whatever, I don't care. So that happened, that accusation, it happened, and there was a big drama, and then after that happened, a lot of gaming press started issuing articles about how gamers weren't good, that gamers were dead, and that you didn't have to sell video games to gamers. People thought this was odd, that suddenly every gaming outlet that had any clout in the industry all spontaneously sent out similarly bad, negative anti-gamer articles. And gamers were, for some strange reason, I couldn't understand why myself, that when insulted on a massive scale by every gaming outlet, they were slightly miffed. And they started calling out this gaming press for being really, really shit. And that's what Gamergate is.
Which is opposed to the conspiracy, which is solely concerned with the love affair of Zoe Quinn.
So what is pro Gamergate and what is because I always hear like pro Gamergate and I really don't know which side is what. So if you are pro Gamergate, then which side are you on?
Pro Gamergaters think that the media colluding to do massive hit pieces against their own audience is bad, and anti-Gamergate thinks everyone who's pro-Gamergate murders women for fun.
It sounds ridiculous. And the best part is
it's so ridiculous it might be true. Ridiculous.
I don't know about you guys, but I've only murdered 6 women this week. That's hardly significant.
Yeah, it's just like
the world population is what, 8 billion?
Yeah, that's not even 1 billion of the total human population. So yeah.
So apparently, for some strange reason, not liking bad press became directly associated with woman hating. I don't quite understand the connection. I think it might be something to do with the fact that the girl who sort of started all this was a girl.
Oh.
And then the people defending her are the sort of people that basically think that if you're white and straight and cisgendered, you're a terrible piece of shit and you should probably kill yourself. Even though a lot of these people are white and male, but that's just a minor detail.
Oh, also, she got a movie made about having snipers across the street from her house.
Is that movie actually made already, or?
Yes, it exists. It's on Sci-Fi.
Wow, I haven't even heard about it in any outlet, so that must have been a huge success.
Yeah, it happened, and then I imagine nobody watched it, and now it's gone.
Yeah.
And I doubt Sci-Fi will ever play it again.
And there will.
That's funny.
Yeah,
I never heard. I'll let you talk in a bit. I never heard anyone address it. I haven't seen any discussion about it. Wow, that's some. I mean, even with the entire mainstream media backing the anti-Gamergate side, you would expect this to be all over the place.
I'd imagine it was probably pretty bad. I don't even remember what it's called.
Me neither. So I can't even look it up. Not that I want to, but
yeah, I'll see if I can look it up.
all right. Beck, you were going to say something.
Yeah, it was just that she most likely will be like, all the people are misogynist because they didn't like this movie or didn't watch it or something.
Well, speaking of people telling you that you're terrible for not liking things, there's also this very obscure guy. No one's ever heard of him. His name is James Rolfe. He may have reprised he may have played this little character. You might have heard of him, the angry video game nerd. Just a small thing. No one knows about him.
No.
Yeah, no.
And he was like, this Ghostbusters movie, I have no intention to see it. I don't think it's gonna be fun and good. Judging on the trailer, I don't think it's gonna be very good. And then
Art, don't you understand? The movie stars women.
Mhm.
It can't be bad. It's full of women.
Okay. So it's got women, okay, and the argument is that if you don't like Ghostbusters 3, you just hate women. It has nothing to do with all the other sequels that have been coming out. All remakes, and a lot of them just plain suck.
I don't
And
know.
no one really pays attention to them.
RoboCop wasn't nearly dystopian enough, but
Exactly.
it was sort of okay. And what else was remade? Spider-Man. They remade Spider-Man 4 times.
Oh,
And
Spider-
that's not even an old movie. That was like rebooted every 2 years for some
Yeah,
reason.
we can't even call those reboots. Those are the sorts of movies that are constantly being made. And
For some reason.
yeah, superhero movies are really all the rage right now.
But it still is really hilarious how angry the mainstream press has gotten at a nobody. Well, okay, the AVGN isn't exactly a nobody on the internet, but he's a nobody in Hollywood. Like, he's not exactly a well-respected movie critic outside of the gaming universe. It's like they're all taking a giant shit on a guy who makes fun of bad old video games because he doesn't want to see a movie that has a bad trailer. It's the most bizarre thing. It would be like if I made a bad review of a riding saddle, and then the entire equestrian nation decided that I must be shamed in every news outlet that horse people have access to. It's like, why? Why would you do that? I don't know about horses. I just said the saddle was ugly. And now you've got this guy just saying this movie is ugly, and they must shit on him. And the worst thing is they can't even really defend the movie. They're just calling him misogynist.
Yeah, and there's people that are like, Yeah, but you see, they're desperately trying to save face. Basically, they're like, for instance, the people that say that that Star Wars, that Rey wasn't a, there's people that argue that Rey wasn't to Mary Sue because look at all these other people in the other movies, and you know how they did basically the same thing as Rey.
But
Also,
they didn't. And Disney also went out and said, actually, yes, we are making our strong female characters more stronger and better than our male characters because female
feminism.
empowerment.
Exactly.
And I'm looking at it, what is this? The 1990s? Is this the next wave of the Spice Girls? Is everyone's going to start running out shouting girl power in my face?
Well, that seems to be the case. Also, if the Ghostbusters backlash was such a displaced misogyny, that doesn't explain why Star Wars is doing so well. Like, Star Wars was universally praised. It still is. People really like the new Star Wars.
But Artrix, Star Wars only stars one main female character. See?
Oh.
It's
yeah.
obviously all banking off that one that one black guy that's in it, because you see because nobody there's wait, hang on, aren't black people also supposed to?
No. It's
Wait.
It's okay to make fun of black people now. I just went
Oh.
to the big council meeting, and they're like, yeah, it's okay to shit on black people now.
But-
I mean, last week
But
it was
black
gay
people don't win Oscars. They're terrible, right?
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
racism. There's no Oscars for them because they're bad. Because Oscars.
Mhm.
I
They seem to have decided
don't
that
understand the media.
they seem to have decided that it's okay to shit on gay men now. Like,
Oh,
yeah, probably because of my.
they can get married though. They're allowed to
Exactly,
be
so-
married. Women still aren't allowed to be married.
No, exactly. Do you hear that, Astra? You're never allowed to be married.
Oh dear.
Unless you
So,
can get
so how does
gay.
it make you feel?
I feel a bit empowered of that big crap.
See, Astra's speechless. She doesn't
But-
even
but
know what
it-
to say anymore.
It's okay, Astra. You've been empowered by Star Wars.
Yeah.
Now you can use lightsaber better than men.
Yeah, now you can become the new Führer of Germany. We kind of need it. I mean, we got Angela Merkel. Become the by the end of the podcast, you can manage to become the new prime minister, president,
But see,
girl.
the
Führer.
thing is, though, even though Disney have explicitly went out of their way to make their female characters more better than everyone else, the movie still had a supporting cast, and it still had a plot, and it still had lots of really nice special effects.
Yeah.
So it had more going for it than just just the strong female character.
Yeah.
So it was built upon a foundation of other good things. So they could afford to put in a bit of pandering while, maintaining a reasonably respectable movie. And Ghostbusters isn't built upon a decent plot. We don't really know, but from the trailers, it just kind of comes off as a cheap cash in to reboot an old franchise by basically just doing the same movie again, but now with women
And that's what
and
people are
without
upset
any of
about.
the charm because it doesn't even have practical special effects. It's all CG. The actors don't actually get properly slimed by a Slimer puppet, which is just awful. Like, come on. Who doesn't want to be on the movie set and holding a mop and bucket and a stick with a ghost on it and smacking actors with it? Come on.
And
That's
of
how
course-
how
and-
they used to do it.
And needing to do the same take over and over and over again, just until they get it just right.
Or that director's a douchebag and doesn't like that particular actor.
That reminds me of that one take in Titanic where they built a giant set and the set would be inevitably destroyed in the filming of the take. So they're like, okay guys, everyone, we got to do this right. We only have one shot.
And they fuck it up.
Yes,
Goggles.
yes.
They did
One dude had Mexican the day before, and he was like, "Oh shit, I gotta go!" Right during the scene. Worst. It's the worst possible thing.
Oh,
Just incredibly unfair of the modern media. Well, the way they'll just gangpile people for wrong think now. Oh, it's like Gamergate all over again.
Well, it's pretty.
Rolfegate.
Do it though. I mean, and even why the mainstream media is in on this, because they know that the moment people realize that Gamergate actually has a point, that the mainstream media is next.
Mhm.
That's the last thing they want. They don't want a population that critically looks at the media and says, you know what, this is shit. You guys doing a shit job. This isn't the news. This is just this is amateurish bullshit. I'll just go to this other site now.
Oh, speaking of news, I got linked to the greatest article ever. I didn't read it actually because the headline alone was enough to sum up the entire article in how incredibly down to earth, relevant, and necessary this news article was. The headline said the GeForce 1070 will be faster, more expensive than the GeForce 1060.
oh yeah, I've seen that one.
So you're saying the 1070 is more faster than the 1060?
I am saying that now it's apparently news to point out that the bigger, faster graphics card in a range that's numbered according to the bigness and fastness will be priced more expensively than the slower, smaller one.
Right. I'm so confused. You need to explain it more. Like, how does this numbering work? I mean, I read in the media and the gaming press that you should no longer need to get good at games. That we can't do that anymore. So you don't no longer need to get good.
Okay, well, I'll say it in terms that you might be familiar with from the automobile industry, because everyone understands automobiles, right?
Maybe.
No.
Okay. So when you buy a motor vehicle,
Yes.
they have engines, okay?
Oh.
And the engines are classified in how many cubic liters fit inside their cylinders. And this equates to how powerful the engines can be, because the bigger the cylinder, the more explosion you can fit. So you could buy a small little car, like a Ford Ka, with a 1 liter engine, and this will be a small, inexpensive vehicle because it has a small engine that doesn't produce very much power. But then you could also buy a car with a 2 liter engine, like a Ford Mondeo, which is a larger car, and it has a larger engine. And because it's larger and more powerful, it costs more money.
But Panboy,
Oh.
Panboy. That goes against the teachings at school that tell me that the future obviously belongs to our glorious Marxist, communist, socialist republic that we're going to set up in the United States, in which everyone gets the same graphics card for free that will pay with taxes that everyone's going to have to pay.
Well, here's the thing. In your Marxist utopia, even if you want the Ford Mondeo, which can actually drive at 60 miles an hour without exploding, you won't get it because everyone has to get the same thing. So you'll actually get a Ford car. And it doesn't matter that you don't actually fit in a Ford car, because I know you're tall, but in Marxist utopia, that doesn't matter because everyone has to be treated equally, even if their physical attributes mean they don't fit in the tool everyone else is given. Also, in the communist society that you describe, nobody gets what they want. Everyone gets a piece of shit.
Well,
except for the people running it.
Oh yeah.
It's not true. My social studies professor told me. Also Bernie Sanders and Hillary and Merkel and but yeah, it is sad that this is what it's come to, where outlets need to explain how the decimal numbering system works.
It is hilarious and it's dumb. And that's what passes for news in the gaming press right now.
Aside from the whole Get Good thing.
Oh yes, Get Good. That was great.
Yeah, that was obviously the result of Polygon showing off Doom. And they chose someone who completely sucks at Vidya. I mean, I'll be honest. When I play an FPS on a console, which, oh my god, you're playing FPS on a console, but I digress. So you're playing Vidya, a FPS on a console, and you have to do the thing with the analog stick and the other analog stick, and you have to move them all at the same time, and then your character moves and shit. Okay, but even I can sort of get that shit done. I can walk around and aim and kind of shoot the bad guys. But in the video they showed, the guy was just, or the woman, or the it was just looking at the floor all the time, because apparently I didn't understand the concept of walking and aiming at the same time.
That video was some... In case anyone doesn't know, we were talking about a Polygon reviewer who posted gameplay footage of the new Doom, which is a very fast action-paced game, where he awkwardly waddled around a room and struggled to aim his gun at anything. He would try to aim at an enemy, he would sweep his gun across the screen, and then he'd sweep it back to correct from his overcorrection, and then he would awkwardly fire 5 shots into the ground, most of which missed his target, because even with his 2 corrections, he didn't actually get his sights on the enemy. It was something special to watch, and
These people...
I cannot understand how someone playing a game like this could be a game reviewer, because they obviously have never picked up a joypad in their lives. And it was definitely I don't think you could play a game like that with a mouse. Or maybe you could. I don't know. That would all equally be a special level of bad. It was just really awkward. And then when people on the internet looked at this video and said, "Hey guy, get good," because the sheer pretty crap, the guy had a shit fit on Polygon. And gave out to people who were complaining about his lack of skill in video games. I was like, if you demonstrate publicly your complete and utter lack of skill as a game reviewer and don't expect to get shit on, you are a special level of retard.
Morning.
Afternoon.
Hello.
Suddenly you have a Xaverius with us. Welcome to the show.
Never.
Never.
I don't think I could write a game review if I could not play the game. and I also don't think he had any leg to stand on by defending that awful gameplay video. He didn't make the game look good. He made the game look like an awkward, clunky mess. And I've played Doom. It doesn't play awkwardly and clunkily. I didn't play the single player. I played the multiplayer beta. But it was very fast, very responsive. Your guns work. You shoot them at your enemies, and your enemies die. The mechanics of the game work exactly as you would expect them to work. So there's no excuse for a person's gameplay to be so awkward if they never actually played the game before in their lives.
I was about to ask about what I'm talking, but the moment you said he made the game look so clunky, I knew what you are talking about.
You mean
Yes.
the game player that played the game so professionally, like a true games journalist?
Obviously.
It was a Polygon reviewer. If anyone wants to look up this, just look up Polygon and Doom, and I'm sure you'll either find a deleted article, or you'll find things on Google insulting the man.
Mhm. Yeah, and I think the argument they gave for this display of extreme ineptitude was, yeah, but it was having fun.
He didn't look like he was having fun.
No, I didn't get the impression either. And for all we know, he had a lot of fun, but that still doesn't, excuse the fact that, okay, you're looking at the video to get an impression of what it's like to play the game, and like you said, looking at the video, you get the impression that it plays like shit. Because you're like, holy shit, they can't even aim properly in this game. Maybe the controls are really that awkward, but no.
What I don't really get about the gameplay of that particular person is it was obviously clever enough to snipe the zombies from distance in the one part, but then he jumped down and we all know what happened.
I think...
Actually,
oh, go ahead.
if he was playing on a console, which I think he was, how did he do that with the aim assist? Because most console first-person shooters have a kind of lazy aim assist that makes your reticle draw towards the enemy as you sweep over it. I think Halo did it best, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
It would just kind of slow down your cursor as it approached an enemy, so you could, aim decently. But that didn't happen at all in that video. It just kind of awkwardly snapped from left to right. It was so weird. I'm legitimately finding it hard to comprehend in my own head.
Well,
how
you
that
know
video
what
came
they
to
say.
be.
You know what they say. Aiming on a console takes skill.
Yes.
Are there
I'm not going to shit on people who play console games or console first-person shooters, because I've done it myself, and you can have plenty of enjoyment from a console shooter. I played a zillion hours of Halo. It was fun. You could run around. You could shoot things. You could get a big grunty thirst. It was satisfying.
This is what you can do. I mean, a few weeks ago, I was going to my old gaming magazine CDs. I found Halo 1. I installed it. Actually, it was fun. I was surprised by how much fun it was.
You had fun?
Yes, Artrix, it's games, of course.
You entitled shitlord.
Obviously, I'm using fun as the only criterion when it comes to games.
Fun is the only criteria when it comes to games. Mm-hmm. If games fail to engage you in a fun way, they have failed as video games. They may have succeeded as something else, but they have failed as games.
Well, now you're just talking like a crybaby.
I am.
There's a hyper crybaby.
I have played things that sell themselves as video games, which are not video games. I have enjoyed them to the degree you can enjoy them, but they are not video games. I am talking of such things as Amnesia and a newer one. What's it called again? Soma. These are first-person interactive adventures.
Amnesia
where
is...
you engage yourself in a narrative world where you learn a story in first person and you experience the story, but your actions have little to no consequence on what happens. So they can't be defined as games. As games by definition.
Amnesia, is that the one with the dark and monsters?
Yes.
Yeah. Basically,
A game, the definition I use for game requires the player to be an actor in the story. And those don't. You're just passively observing for most of it.
and running away.
Yes.
But you are actively blocking doors. That's the thing you can do.
I think Total Biscuit.
Amnesia is like the Penumbra series, except you're blocking doors.
I think,
And the monsters don't kill you with one hit, but with two hits.
I think Total Biscuit had a nice way to put it. Like, it is, games are art in the sense that you're given the pieces, but it's the player that puts the pieces in its place and interprets the piece, according to the way they put the piece together. So there are some predetermined things about the art expression, but the pieces can be arranged by the observer, and the observer becomes part of the experience, obviously.
The observer is you.
It was you all along.
Yes.
God.
On home, in which case the pieces are limited to 2, I guess, which is okay to start and finish, and you basically put them, together, and okay, done.
And then explode.
Well, that would actually be kind of fun. If you walk down, if you walk into the house and you're like, oh, this is boring as all fuck. Like, all I can do is walk around, and then everything explodes. And then you're like, I didn't see that coming.
Well, Artrix, that's pretty much how Fallout 4 starts.
Yeah, but I suppose Fallout 4 has a bunch of other things happening.
I'm not sure.
No, it doesn't. You never get out the cryo. Trust me, I played it. I spent 72 hours in the cryo chamber, and the game never moved on.
Why would you spend 72 hours on Fallout 4?
Because I couldn't leave. I had to wait until all the people busted. That's what you have to do, right?
I guess.
Fallout 4 has its own problems. Let's not get into that right now.
Fair enough.
But at least it has gameplay at some point. Once you get out of the cryo lab after
Eventually.
72 hours.
Anyway, with all that said, Bakphoon, does it answer your question as to what Gamergate is?
I guess.
I don't think that last thing answered anything like that.
No. But
No, not
it
at all.
It all spawned from the question, what is Gamergate?
But that question is like, a year too late.
Well, obviously these days Gamergate is nothing but a boogeyman, but it's like, hey, my taxes aren't filed. Well, it's all Gamergate's fault.
Obviously.
Gamergate!
As long as you're feminist. In other news, mods have come to consoles.
Oh my
Oh
god.
no.
Oh,
Yes.
What's a console?
A console is a type of doorstop.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
That's
so,
anyway.
so which game did receive the mod treatment?
Who cares?
Oh.
And
The thing is, swarms of console peasants, swarmed Bethesda and demanded mods.
Mhm.
Except for PS4, because those people are as bad as those PC people. They hack.
So
Hacks.
PS4 people not get mods?
No, that's what the Xbox people say.
Yeah.
It's
Well, they're
fun.
all hacks. I remember
all
remember
hacks.
back in the day when ranked games appeared on consoles, people had all sorts of ways to hack their game stats. Like everything from something as primitive as, oh, I'm losing this round. I don't want a negative score streak on my profile, so I'll just plug out my internet.
Mm-hmm.
So
if you can't crash the entire server, just plug your server.
yeah. And then you don't get a negative score. You just get a DC. People were very strange in trying to maintain their KDRs. And actual gamers just point out to them, no one cares what your KDR is. Just play the game and have fun, you moron.
Mine is usually like 715.
Exactly.
So how would I even care?
Oh, that shit is awful in games like MechWarrior Online, where you're playing a game, everyone on one team except one guy in a small, fast robot isn't dead, so he just hides in the mountains somewhere where all the big fat robots can't get him. It's like, why are you just running out the clock? You still lose. Your whole team's dead. Just that one death isn't going to affect your stats. Doesn't matter.
No.
Just go down here and die and let the game end. Damn it.
But my stats need to be perfect. I need to show up as a superior player.
Obviously.
They are the worst players. Nobody likes them.
Obviously.
Because everyone is just sitting there staring at the round countdown timer.
Well, that's PvPers. I mean, it's a game focused on PvP, so of course there's just dumb bastards. I mean, that's why LoL is cancer.
Mm-hmm.
That's also focused on PvP. All the leagues.
All right, let's get back on to current events.
Mm-hmm.
There's this.
It's 2016.
Exactly.
Well, it is 2016.
This is related.
Oh.
In 2016, people are using bathrooms
Holy
assigned
fuck.
the opposite sex.
What's this world coming to?
What do you mean opposite sex? Are you insinuating there's only two sexes?
Yes, I am. There are only two sexes. But there is a campaign in a store called Target in the Americas where they are pushing for people to use the bathrooms of the opposite sex in order to erase some kind of discrimination against transgender people, or they have so many terms now for the same thing. I'm not sure which one is supposed to be used to be non-offensive. So I'm trying to think of what the most offensive one is now, so I can use that. So, transsexual drag queens that are gay
I suppose
are now
you can
being
always
forced.
use the word faggot.
Yeah, those two. So they're pushing men into the women's bathrooms, or actually, I think it's more they're pushing women into the. No, I don't know. Actually, it's just dumb. They're making people use the wrong bathrooms as some kind of political statement, and it's just very strange because they're just making this whole thing a huge deal, when historically I'm pretty sure trannies who actually passed as the opposite sex would simply wander into the bathroom that they were passing as, and nobody would have noticed, and no one cared. But by blowing this entire thing out of proportion, now it's just drawing attention to everyone who goes into a bathroom. Mm-hmm. He's like, is that guy a guy? Does he have a penis? Or does he have a vagina? And is he going to rape me?
And how many vaginas?
Exactly. And I think this is a doubly strange as well, because
Okay, one moment.
I don't think bathroom rape has ever been a big issue.
You know, the real question that should be asked is, I would go anyone to the bathroom at Target.
That
But
is a
obviously
very
Target
good
has
question.
the
Probably
best
get crabs.
deals. You know, if we need 6 crates of the same Blu-ray, then you obviously go to Target.
Yeah,
get
but
that mad
aren't the
discount.
bathrooms like very...
All public
All box
bathrooms are
stores are,
disgusting, and
yeah.
you know it.
Exactly.
Honestly, the real answer to this entire dilemma, because if you're going to just allow transsexual people to use the bathroom of the other sex, as why have sexually divided bathrooms at all?
That's what I was gonna say. If it's gonna go this route, then just abandon gender segregated bathrooms altogether.
I'm pretty sure that gender
Women
divided
is-
bathrooms are thing like only the last 100, maybe 150 years.
Mhm. Yeah, and for all the time there have been no issues.
Yeah, just get rid of the men's and women's. Just knock down that wall. Have people, pee all over the walls next to women sitting down taking big old honking shits. The real problem is actually, men use a bathroom for 15 seconds. Women use a bathroom for 3 years.
This is true.
And I'm
Yes.
pretty sure men do not want to give up fast bathrooms.
But
Ooh.
Actually, yes. This is definitely the biggest problem that I can see.
Well, to be honest, they most likely would still have some urinals, or however they're pronounced. Just
no.
standing toilets.
it's true.
That's
guarantee,
a system
I can
problem.
guarantee women would make a fuss. I can guarantee there's women out there who will make a fuss that they might accidentally see a man peeing. Or that they don't want to bring their children into a bathroom where they might see a man peeing. Like,
No,
oh no,
you can't have your cake and eat it
my
too.
fragile child could be exposed to a penis.
Those disgusting men use his penises to pee.
This is especially a problem in America where they are sex for some reason.
So what do you think about it, Astra? Should we get rid of sex
Penises?
segregated bathrooms? Just create one bathroom. Just be done with it.
Just go on a tree or something. I would really don't give a damn.
Wow.
Nope.
I mean, if there's a line in the
Just-
women's toilet, just make sure that no one in the men's toilet and go in there. Does it really matter? A toilet is a toilet.
Obviously, it matters. It's a very serious gender issue, Astra.
Yeah, haven't you
It's a
been paying
huge
attention?
deal, Astra.
These
Now
things
men are
matter.
going to be going into women's bathrooms where they can rape without anyone to stop them, because invasion of territory. That's how it works, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
So dumb.
From what I can
Everything
recall, that
happening-
when my school was rebuilt, they changed the toilet so that it was unisex. Both boys and girls used the same toilet. I don't know why. They just did it. Now, I don't see the problem with that. If you need to go in one of the toilets.
There you go.
Toilet. Doesn't
Now-
matter if it's boys or girls.
Was there any urinals?
Sorry?
Were there any urinals?
I don't know.
This is important,
Pretty
Astra,
sure
because
you
if
can
there's
remember.
only stalls, they will fill with women, and men won't be able to use the bathroom.
True.
Because we just used the urinals, and it only takes us 20 seconds.
Well, most of the time. I mean, if you have to go number 2, whatever it's called, then yeah.
Yeah, you don't do that in the urinal.
No.
That's
Unless
bad.
you're an idiot. Unless you're a huge idiot. Like, oh, I didn't know I was supposed to use the stalls. I thought, urinals are for guys and the stalls are for women.
What
I
even
don't
is a stall?
understand. Well, maybe this is what we're gonna see in 20 years, when all this shit has gone down and everyone's just confused.
We should just do what San Francisco did and implement shitting streets.
Wait, this is a real thing that exists.
Yes, in a first world country, in America even, there's shitting streets, just like India.
Just like India in the Middle Ages when the pox was around.
Well, India in the current age as well. Apparently, people have post. Apparently, this is a thing. It might not be true because I saw these posts on 4chan, but they had photographic evidence of public shitting streets in San Fran. I was like, what? This can't be real. But it probably is.
It's too real.
Because,
we
San
are
Fran
talking about
is
San Francisco here, so
exactly liberal capital of the world, where they will culturally accept your urge to shit on a street.
Because if you don't respect that, then you're just a big misogyny.
I think you're actually an Islamophobe if you don't like people shitting on the street. Also you're Islamophobic if you don't like people. If you think people should use toilet paper.
Yeah.
And wash their hands.
It's because India is an Islamic country, right?
Oh no. But I know they wipe their hands with their arse, with their arse with their hands.
Was that the case of the one cook?
Yes.
Yeah. I heard about that.
It's disgusting.
No, it's his culture.
Yes, it's his culture to wipe his ass with his hand. Good God.
Oh, that story. Yeah. That was really dumb and stupid.
It was a pretty shitty story.
It was a pretty shitty story.
Yep.
Go and eat there at that store. I mean, it sounds very hygienic.
Shit on the street and wipe your ass with your hand. It's 2016. It's not like we invented soap and indoor plumbing.
Nah, that shit's overrated. Also, come on, live a little. If you're, everything is so.
Live a little.
Yeah, live a little. Like, if you go to the restaurant, take a little bit of risk. Like, okay, maybe you get some food poisoning, maybe you don't. Who the fuck cares? Come on.
Is this brown thing a mushroom or a lump of shit?
Exactly. Take a bit of a chance.
But obviously, everyone just wants you to experience what gay people who enjoy rimming experience.
Yeah, you're getting it, Panboy. You're really on your way to become progressive and shit.
It's cultural enrichment. I will enrich your culture with a big old pile of brown steaming shit.
As you should.
I don't understand how backwards cultures like pooping on streets is something that's still acceptable today. I mean, there's just so many logical reasons list that makes this bad.
What do you mean still? I thought that it's a totally new thing because so far for thousands of years the capitalistic patriarchy was oppressing people to not shit on the street.
That is true. Even back in the Middle Ages, people even used a bucket and then threw it out into the street.
Well, what's funny about that is that the Middle East and whatnot was actually very advanced when it came to hygiene.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's not just a regressive left in the sense that they're regressing into authoritarian, shit. They're also encouraging, cultures that used to be the forerunners of hygiene to be all like, yeah, just shit on the floor. It's your culture, which is actually really patronizing. It's like
I hate everything.
You guys, you originally didn't do this, but my social studies professor said you did, so you gotta do it. And they think it's just swell.
There were so many pictures from the London Tube and restrooms in the wake of the immigrant wave, which were just covered in shit. Shit everywhere. It was horrible. Wow. Why?
So, wait, what? So they're pictures of just bathrooms that are completely covered in shit?
Yeah, pretty much, because apparently the people, the immigration wave coming everywhere in the Middle East and North Africa, apparently people use toilets there. I mean, it's a very complicated operation. You sit on the bowl, you shit in it.
Well, apparently it's a thing that you sit on. There's like a hole in the ground, and you just sort of have to squat all over
Yeah,
it.
that's even easier. You can just dig a hole.
They do that in France, I believe.
Yeah, in southern France and Italy, it's actually a thing that you go to a bathroom and you open the door and you're like, okay, I'm gonna, go number 2. It's gonna take a while, so don't disturb me. So you go in there and you think I'm just gonna chill, and then you see nothing but a hole in the ground. Okay, to be fair, there's also like some porcelain around the hole and like some rims so you don't slip and shit. Like something to put your feet and your shoes on, but it's essentially a hole in the ground.
Well, to be perfectly honest, it's more natural to actually poop taking a squat.
That's true.
But I don't care. It's still more comfortable to sit on a toilet.
Exactly. It's 2016.
It's 2016. Sit on a goddamn toilet.
Like a normal person. But yeah.
Rome did not invent the flush toilet in 2000 AD so that we could shit in holes.
Well, didn't they just have like holes in the floor? It's just that they had sanitation. So instead of it just accumulating
the Romans invented the first flush toilets.
Yes, that's what that there was.
Ago.
I'm pretty sure there were still holes in it.
Yeah, that's actually true, because I think they definitely had toilets that you could sit on, because there's like the saying where you are doing business and you're going to, and that basically means you're go to the toilet, and at least it's like this in Germany, like I'm gonna do some business. It means you're
going to the Roman. You're going to do some business because you're going to the Romans.
No, basically, because back in the Roman days, it was a very popular place to make some business. It's like while you were sitting on the toilet, then you just made some like business deals. It's a real thing.
Well, what else are you supposed to do? You have a lot of time.
Yeah.
Like the Roman, they had the first aqueducts and the first sewage system and the first plumbed toilets.
And the first heated floors. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
The Romans were actually very
apparently, this millennia-old technology has failed to make it to most of the Middle East.
That's because Romans never conquered Middle East.
I'm pretty sure they conquered the Middle East. I mean,
no,
did you ever see the map of Rome? It was like a big splotch of paint all around the Mediterranean.
They didn't conquer it enough. The only empire that was the Eastern Roman Empire, which at one point arguably was Roman Empire, but influences. The only person who ever personally went there was Alexander the Great, and it was well before the Romans.
Mm-hmm. Well, at one point...
And unfortunately, Alexander the Great didn't have toilets.
No, did he have... Did he at least have urinals?
I don't think so.
Oh, that's too bad.
Pretty sure at least transgender people know how to sit on toilets.
I mean, I'd actually expect, the road... I mean, the Hanna-Barbera made this very... historically correct documentary about life in Rome. like in those days when you had to go somewhere, you just go to the bus stop, and then some dude in a large carriage came up, and you had to go in there, and you had to actually just walk, but you'd be in the carriage, so you magically go faster. It's like the Simpsons. It's like the Flintstones, but instead of rock car, it's made all Romany.
Mm-hmm.
I understand everything you just said.
Also,
Of romance, Artrix. Of
also-
romance.
Yeah. Also, they had cheerleaders and television and train stations and shit, because that was obviously all things that you had in the Roman Empire.
Yeah, it was advanced.
Mm-hmm. It was very advanced. Panboy still has no idea what I'm talking about.
I don't have any idea what you're talking about.
He's talking about romance.
When the stream is over, I'll show you a link to that. It's on YouTube. It's I think it's called it's named Roman Holidays. So yeah.
You can have a holiday?
Yeah, it's about a family that runs a resort in ancient Rome, which is like the Flintstones and Jetsons.
Well, ancient Rome is my favorite place to visit.
I've been to Rome once. It was just like that. They had cheerleaders and football and restaurants, and if you did go on the bus, you had to walk yourself, but you were in the bus. So it was exactly like that.
I was in Rome once. They had cappuccino for breakfast with cereal. I was very confused.
Casual. Obviously, you'd have a espresso, which is the default in Rome. That's kind of funny.
You couldn't fit very much breakfast cereal in an espresso. That would be a really small breakfast.
Seriously,
Details.
you just put the cereal in your cappuccino.
Yep, just poured it straight on it in. Cappuccino cup was more like a bowl. It was like a bowl sized cup. I was like, what? I was very confused. I didn't know what to do.
That's pretty top kecky. That's pretty uber kex.
Such a meme.
Such a meme. No, but yeah, Rome is. I actually really like Rome. It's one of the best cities I've ever been to. If you just ignore all the beggars on the street, that's kind of really important. You have to. You really have to hone your ignore beggar skills, because they're all over the place. I mean, if I gave 1 cent to each beggar, then I'd be spending like 60 quid. And I'm like, no.
It's very important that when you trip over the beggars, you don't scratch the Ferrari that they're begging next to.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a kind of funny thing when I was in Rome. You know, you had these really poor areas where people would drive around in Ferrari. Huh. Use Ferraris as an everyday car. Weird. It was really weird. Hell uses Ferrari as an everyday car, driving around in a bendy city where you can never get over 30 miles an hour. It's like, what?
Yeah, luckily I never had this fortune of actually driving. But yeah, it's definitely a city with a lot of really small streets, and yeah, I'm glad I wasn't there by car.
Just try to imagine going down one of those cobblestone roads in a supercar which basically doesn't have suspension.
Or any profile whatsoever. Because it's just sucked to the road.
It would be like having the most intense massage experience where your car is trying to murder.
Also, you are losing bumpers left and right, because like the clearance on those is half a centimeter.
Yeah, especially when you have a car that's that short or that low.
Yes,
my brother
that's what I was saying, Artrix.
I mean, my brother has a car like that, and And a friend of mine used to have a car like that, and really every bump was an obstacle.
You should have sent him over here. He would lasted like half a minute.
That's weird because you'd think that Czech Republic would be one of the places where they don't have speed bumps every 20 centimeters.
Yeah, but they also don't have paved roads.
Well,
Gag.
Artrix, you should have. You should just come here one day and try the D1 highway, because in some parts it's like riding a train.
Okay, so the legends are true.
What legends?
That Central and Eastern European countries still have really badly maintained roads. Because apparently it's gone a lot better in the past decade.
Wait, what do you mean still? That thing is like 20 years old at most.
Okay, so it's a new road.
Yeah. Well, okay.
That's from the 90s.
In its certain meta proto state, it existed very, very long ago, but the modern designation is 20 years old at most.
I mean,
the last 17,000 repairs were done in the 20 years.
Okay.
Oh, excuse me.
Gesundheit.
Thank
Like
you.
when I was going to the university, there was probably like 2 weeks when there weren't repairs going on that.
Sam just died.
Yes?
Maybe just a little bit.
Okay.
Mhm.
It's your fault.
I agree.
Anyway, Xaverius, do you have anything you want to talk about? I mean, it did sort of drop.
I
in a way.
already talked about a thing, Artrix.
Okay, well maybe there's another thing. I mean, there's so many times when you're like, "Hey, I want to discuss a thing. It's my mystery topic," and then the stream ends. You're like, "Oh, wait a minute, I still have a topic I want to discuss," and we're like, "Oh,
Well, not today.
le gasp."
I already talked about the thing, Artrix. You can expect me to have more than one topic when I just wake up.
Fair enough. So why did you only just wake up?
Because I was sleeping.
Yes. But you're not the type of guy that does like midday naps and shit.
I'm not?
Well, I guess not.
Artrix, that's the first thing I do. Like, I come home, then I fall asleep. And then I'm sleeping. And then I wake up.
My
Almost sound like Astra.
Except, like, this week I'm exceptionally tired, so I'm not waking up at 8 in the evening, but at 10 in the evening for some reason. I don't know.
I did take a nap today.
Maybe I'm getting tired and old and bald like you.
But I don't get tired. Not the way you do.
You're getting bald.
That is true. So what are you gonna do about it?
I don't know. I'm just looking forward to the day when I can see a bald Artrix.
Well, that's gonna happen at some time. Because when I really go bald, I'm just gonna shave it all off. I'm not even going to pretend. I'm like, yeah, I'll just embrace it.
You need to get one of those comb overs.
No. Fuck, no. I will never, ever get a comb over.
No. You just get him a toupee and he'll become the next Trump.
Yes.
No.
We need a Trump.
No.
Make the Netherlands great again.
Yep. He's going to invade the sea in full force.
But I'm not a millionaire. I mean, I might be at.
We don't know. Maybe you are a billionaire.
Yeah, exactly. But don't tell anyone that.
He's secretly rich.
Yeah,
Send me all your money.
No. I'm actually super rich, but I'm just pretending to be like
Not rich.
not rich.
And now you know. And knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe, though that's probably sexist. So G.I.
Yes.
Joette,
G.I.
Joe's there.
G.I. Joe, Jones, no,
Joey, Joanna. There you go. G.I. Joanna.
Would G.I. Joe's stand just be a big animated gun? No, it would be the American main battle tank.
Yes. I like the sound of that.
Just, yeah. Oh god, we're talking about anime now.
At least it's not a Gainax anime.
Oh, I think I watched... No, it was a Trigger anime. Space
Trigger
Patrol Luco. And it was the most bizarre thing I've watched in recent history.
So what was it about?
It was about a girl going to school
That's weird.
in the alien immigration district of Japan.
Oh, that's not weird.
Was it Neo Japan?
No, just regular Japan.
Oh.
Aww.
But
Yeah, I'm
they,
disappointed.
the district wasn't making any money, so they sold it, and then aliens bought it, and it became an immigration place.
That's what
And
they
then
do.
it filled, then it filled with aliens, and then the Space Patrol have to do the crime solving. And there's only 3 people in it, and it's really dumb. And really over the top.
But they sold all the other people.
Yeah. And then they wear a uniform that makes them turn into guns that yell out for justice when they fire.
Yeah, that I suppose it makes sense.
It yells out for justice in English, though. In a pseudo-American accent, I believe.
Oh,
I think it may be some kind of a political commentary on how Americans solve how American justice works.
I'm pretty sure Tergan freedom.
Mm-hmm. For justice, and then shoot you in the face.
Yeah.
But do
It's
you
very,
realize then?
very bizarre.
Yeah, but is it as bizarre as JoJo's Adventures?
I would say it's relatively more bizarre.
Oh my.
Because JoJo's are just dumb.
But Adventures.
Anime was a mistake.
Obviously.
No, it really depends on, well, obviously the anime you're watching. The thing with anime is
Any
that-
of them.
No, there are legit good animes, but they're really overshadowed by a lot of weird.
By most
related-
of them.
By what stuff?
By most of them.
I mean, anime is a lot like Western animation. A lot of it is mediocre, boring, but every once in a while there's a little gem. That everyone likes.
90% of everything is shit.
Exactly.
Yep.
Same goes for anime.
It's
And I'm pretty sure that
important to remember
90% of anime is like moe shit.
Yes.
Like
the,
your
the, see, the thing is, there's just far more animes. So there's far more anime shit.
Yeah, but it's still it's still proportionally the same. If there's a lot of if the
It is
proportions-
proportionally the same, but it's not the same by numbers.
if they're proportionally just as shit, but there's more of it, that should also insinuate that there's more good anime.
Yeah, but there's more shit.
Yes.
Mhm.
But it also means that there's more good anime than there's good Western animation.
Yes, you already said that.
Yes. So that would stand to reason that anime is actually not all that bad as a medium. I mean, there's a lot of weird shit, but given that there are proportionally just as many good things, yeah, I don't think it works that way.
Exactly.
I think there's actually less good anime than there's good Western animation right now.
running around in some bizarre circular logic and yourself at this point. It's just very strange, because usually circular logic lets you reaffirm yourself. But no, you've managed to run around in a circle so badly, you've kicked yourself in the face.
Yeah, I guess I was just thinking out loud, because I'm thinking of all the
That's
animation-
why you should never be allowed to think, Artrix.
I think all the goddamn thinking that I want to think. Thank you very much.
I think we've run out of topics.
Maybe.
We're running out of steam.
I think we should put this podcast to death. Or-
Jokes on you. I never even had any topics.
I know.
You brought a topic, and it was even just after you woke up.
What? That's not a topic, Artrix.
Not anymore, because you already talked about it, I guess.
I'm looking at an anatomy blog right now, and I just scrolled at different types of shit reference.
Wow, this is
And it reminds me of conversation skills.
Sounds great, though.
And then there was an awkward silence. So I guess we really did run out of steam.
Earlier than me, yes.
Yep. Well, I have an awkward silence like every, let's say, 10 seconds because for some reason it's terribly jittery to call.
Right. Anyway,
Left.
you know what that means. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna press the button. That will...
Then it'll crash.
And it'll crash.
Press the button.
It'll always crash.
Oh.
It always
And,
crashes.
and explode. Don't forget explosions.
And then we'll all be dead. Anyways, this was yet another episode of Radio Rothingham. Like, subscribe, all the good jazz. Any
Explosions are good for you.
Any last words, you guys?
I just said that explosions are good for you.
Okay. Well, I guess no one has anything to say anymore. So yeah, see you guys next week. Don't die. If you die, you won't be able to listen to the next episode, and that would be kind of bad. So yeah.
Hang on, I need to sand the floor.
And Ben was going to sand the floor with the
What even
power
is
tools.
a beat?
For tools.
Oh yeah.